Hello everyone, this is the page East African Discussions. Today we are doing a video on the Nuer people and the Nuer secession movement. The Nuer are currently pushing for independence and the secession out of South Sudan. If you're not aware of who the Nuer people are, the Nuer are a large ethnic group in parts of South Sudan and parts of Ethiopia. The Nuer are about a population between 4 to 5 million today in 2021. They're a pretty large ethnic group. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about the Nuer people is that they are a tribe in South Sudan, and that would in fact be incorrect. They're not a tribe. They are a distinct nation of people, a distinct ethnic group as well, with tribes within them. The Nuer have their own language, culture, and anthropologists through time have written about Nuer philosophy, so it's known that they have their own philosophy as a people. They also have a specific governing style. So our discussion today is specifically about the Nuer and their current push for independence that seems to be getting louder and louder. In another video I'll explain if this is something that makes sense for the Nuer or if it's something that doesn't necessarily make sense for the Nuer. But I'm not sure why this would be something that would not make sense, considering what they're pushing for is the same thing that countries across the world, ethnic groups around the world have pushed for. We've seen the same split when we look at Czechoslovakia, when the Czech and the Slovak split. Today we're looking at it in Ethiopia, with the Tigray pushing for an independence. They're pushing for a secession outside of one of Africa's most powerful countries. Today we're going to explore a little bit of why the Nuer might be pushing for a secession outside of just being a distinct nation of their own and a distinct ethnic group. One of the biggest reasons that I have seen now that they are pushing for their independence has been their genocide that happened in 2013. So since 2013, we've seen a small trickle of conversation about a possible Nuer secession, and now, 8 years later, this conversation seems to be growing louder and Nuer nationalism seems to be on the rise. So in this video today, we're going to explore that possibility of a Nuer secession. Sorry, not the possibility of it, that'll be in the next video. Today we're just going to explore why they are pushing for an independence.
Who have been targeted in the killing of Juba. All of them are Nuer. All of them are Nuer. Some of them are police and as well as military officers and security personnel and top public servant. So they got killed simply because they are Nuer.
What I have just seen yesterday, the soldiers going to houses, they take our people from their home and they kill them.
The killers are well known to anyone in Juba because they are those militia who were brought by the president to Juba. He trained them and then empowered them and then he gave them, he armed them. So they are the one responsible for the genocide of Nuer, because even some of them, they don't know English or they don't know Arabic. But they told them, okay, let us go and find wherever there is a Nuer, you kill him. So this is what happened, and it is a very big mess.
It happened, we were selected in our houses. Today I'm talking to you, I'm a Nuer, I'm Mark. If I'm seen, I'm Mark, I'm target. Without any, I'm an MP, I'm a honorable member. No protection, nobody is protecting us. The government, when we start watching from Sunday evening to Monday to Tuesday, it has become a problem to all of us. You have seen now people are talking in the media that over 500 people, 600 For us, we say it is less. We are more. Those who have been killed. It's the group Nuer by name.
Now,
rooms, and they grabbed him and they threw him to the ground and they started beating him with rifle butts.
And while this was happening, a few of the soldiers came from behind and were just shouting. And one of the distinct words that came out was a word, Nuer. And this sort of acted like a trigger for the soldier holding a gun to John. 2 shots were fired and he immediately fell to the ground.
It was clear that the situation...
So outside of genocide being one of the reasons why the Nuer would be interested in the secession out of South Sudan and then forming their own state, one of the most obvious reasons is the fact that in South Sudan, those of us who are outsiders and can view the situation there can clearly tell that South Sudan is run under a Dinka supremacist state. It's clear in a lot of everyone's research that ethnocide has been used to build the state that we know as South Sudan today. So much so that Dr. Carol Berger has also written an article a few years ago, research paper, detailing how South Sudan government has been using ethnocide as a tool for state building. In South Sudan, the leading group is the Dinka tribe, and they seem to lead in all sectors, and that's not by accident, and it's not because they're the most intelligent in that country, but because they sought out to make South Sudan a Dinka dominant state. So in my analysis, I can see that there are plenty of reasons why the Nuer and many groups should push for secession. The Nuer land itself is the most viable out of the entire South Sudan region that we know today, probably the most viable in a lot of those East African nations in general. They have enough resources and their landmass is great enough for them to actually have a functioning state on their own. So in my next video, I'll do a video discussing some of the pros as to why the Nuer should have a secession and why they should form their own state. Thank you so much for watching today.